In the name of Amen, the Supreme, the All-Powerful, the one and only true law and order. In Amen we trust as the Republic of Mentellist. The real 144,000 is being gathered in this day and time, the Mentalists. Menzeka Aminun to all of my mentalist brothers and sisters out there, registered members of the Republic of Mentellist, and to all future mentalists who have yet to find their way home to the Republic of Mentellist, which is Amen's community. I send greetings out to you, and I send peace out to you in our Amenic language by saying to you, Menzeka Aminun. Good evening, I am your host, the intellectual NUBEN MENKARAYZZ. This is Mentellist Radio, and tonight we're going to be discussing the death to life. From death to life, from black Africans to bright mentalists. Since we have allowed people to call us blacks, since we allow people to tell us that we come from one part on the planet which they designated for us, since we have allowed that to happen, since we have allowed all kinds of ignorance to be heaped upon our real and true identity as black people, since we have allowed Caucasians and other races of human recessive creatures to call us all kinds of false names and levy all kinds of false philosophies on our people as black people in a state of darkness, because we believed that we were black people, because we believe that we came solely from some place called Africa. That is a sign that we have been dead mentally. That is a sign that we have been dead mentally. And many of you are still, the world over, dead mentally. Those of you who believe that you're black, your skin is black, and that you originate from a place called Africa, you are of the dead. You are of the mentally dead. For those of you who believe you come from the dust of the ground, or out of the waters, out of the seas, out of the water with the humans, you so-called black people who believe you're Africans, you are of the dead. You are of the dead. Yes, you have become black people over time and over conditioning and over circumstance. Circumstance meaning that situations that the beast has set up, scenarios that the beast has set up in this three-dimensional odd frequency world, he has set up to get you to believe that your skin is black and that you originate from a place called Africa. Now, to many of you who have in fact become black, do not listen to this broadcast because you are a lost cause. My message is not for you. My message is not to convince the black African-American, African-minded black person, blackity black person, that they are anything other than black. It is already sold in your mind that you are black and that you come from some place called Africa because the white man said so. Don't even bother to listen to me. But for those of you who can think, who are raising up in this day and time as the true and the real elect, the real bright ones of the next era, who are coming into alignment with the fourth dimensional transmission of who we truly are, who we really are, the real elect, the real 144,000 that's being gathered in this day and time, the bright mentalists. This message is for you. We're gathering all of our bright mentalist family all over the planet. This is an ongoing process to gather the bright, those who are separating from the black. And we are coming into a state of next level life. We're coming into a state of next level life, a state of next level life, a next level transmission. We are being woken up out of a sleep, a dead mental sleep. We are being woken up in this day and time out of a dead mental sleep to who we truly are. The day of reckoning has started. The rise of the mentalists has started. Those who have made the mental list, because it is literally a mental list of 144,000. It is truly a list. That's why we went forward. I'm not going to say back, but we went forward into our first identification as mentalists. Yes, we are mentalists. of the Republican Mentellist, registered mentalists. All mentalists are going to come into alignment with the Republican Mentellist. All those of the bright race who are of Amanic ascent, who are moving in ascension to the fourth dimension, they are coming into alignment with this transmission that is being given in this day and time to raise us out of our deaths. You so-called black, African-American, black people and whatnot who are under the beast, you are of the dead. You are of the dead. And we have risen out of that dead state from amongst you. We are not going to keep going in rotation with you, back and forth with you, with the ones who are just as equally as dead as you, the so-called white race. They are just as equally dead as you mentally. They are just as equally dead. And we are stepping out of that state. If you can see it more and more as this COVID-19 thing has been presented to the public, the latest in the propaganda like style hoax that is played on by the, played on, and the mentally dead, as usual, are accepting this. The black people, right? They are accepting and playing their role as the dead, as the simple-minded, as the believers, right? They are playing their role as the dead, as usual, right? Putting on their masks, believing that, that is now from them now. All the nonsense that is always heaped on so-called black people, dead people, people who are unable to think, people who are only able to believe. You believe in the rhetoric of the beast, which means you carry the mark of the beast. You believe in the rhetoric of the beast, so therefore you carry the mark of the beast. You are of the dead. You have not been yet risen by this message, and many of you will not be risen by this message. This is not a call to all black people. This is not meant to be a call to all black people. This is meant to be just what it is, a rise of the bright race, the mentalists. And of course, you so-called black people are going to hate on the sidelines, as you always do, because even with all the little views we get as we put back and reestablished our channels on YouTube, you still get a lot of ignorant. I'm noticing the rise of a lot of ignorant black people. We still got more bright people who are coming into alignment with this message, who are waking up, but you still got to scurry a little black, dead, mentally dead blacks who are coming on our broadcast saying all kind of stupid stuff. Right, just making all kind of ignorant comments just for the sake of making ignorant comments in the comment section. I pay attention to that because what that's showing me is that with the rise and the evolution of our thought process as the bright race, as the mentalists, the ones who are in alignment to think, as the almond race, those who are raising up into it and coming into alignment with that frequency and transmission, you're always going to have those who are on a low vibrational frequency, the dead, who are going to try to pull you back or try to pull us back into that state of death with them. They want us back believing that we black people and that we Africans. Basically what the white man told us, the original dead man. They want us back under that black frequency. They want us back under that we black people frequency. We Africans, we African Americans, all that dead energy. That dead energy that came from the beast. A lot of you so-called Pan-Africanists and pro-blacks, like I said, you refuse to admit that your identity of black and Pan-African, all that come from the so-called white man. You refuse to admit that. So already everything you got to say is out the window. If you still talking like that in 2021, you are of the dead, man. If you ask a so-called black person, so-called African-American, what are you? And they telling you they black and they African-American, and they have not come to any level of realization that this is not who they are, but this is who they have accepted themselves to be. Get the hell away from them. They dead, man. They are of the dead. It is no sense in talking to them. If they still with this Moorish crap, they still with this Islamic crap, they still with this all this stuff that came to us while we were in a state of death, aka a state of blackness. All these things that we've allowed to be attached to us, all these false identities that we have allowed to be attached to us, all these false philosophies, these false, these false ideas or ways that the beast put on our people, so-called black people, and you still haven't woken up to the fact that these are unnatural and illogical things that the beast has had you following, then you're still of the dead, man. If you niggas are still talking about flat Earth or science, all this other madness, Scientology, whatever the hell you Negroes talking about, Christ, you're of the dead, man. You are of the dead. If you're still caught up in the network of philosophy, foolish philosophy from the beast, anything that he's talking about in this thing, in this three-dimensional realm, and you're not on a level of thought, then y'all dead, man. That's why I don't even respond to the dead. You know what I'm saying? I try not to respond to the dead. So I don't want to respond to the dead. You see? I try not to. I don't want to have anything to respond to these people. Like, they have nothing for us. And if you're raising your children, if you are raising children in this day and time, and you still want to raise them amongst the dead, you still want to raise them as black children among black people, and you still got this black philosophy, then you are of the dead, man. You are of the dead. Millions of dead people. So it's no wonder now the beast is putting you to death. He's actually putting black race physically to death because the so-called black race has been dead for this long. You allow somebody to call you black people, though your skin is not black, and you have never questioned that. You allow somebody to tell you that you come from Africa, and you've never questioned that. They're going to tell you about where you come from and what your name is, and you niggas have accepted that, then you are of the dead, man. In 2020, you niggas are persona non grata, man. You still sitting up here listening to the so-called white man tell you that you black people and you African and you African American, or some nigga who got that nonsense from the white man? Y'all still doing that? Or that y'all Moors, or that y'all into metaphysics and all this other nonsense? You are the dead, man. You still believing in the fairy tales of the beast? Him telling you how old the planet is, him telling you how old fossils is, him telling you that without you niggas even asking. How you know that? You don't ask the beast a goddamn thing. That's a sign that you niggas are dead, man. You don't question the beast at all. At all. That's a sign that you niggas are dead, man. You just accept whatever he tells you and go, and then turn around and try to argue about it with no kind of logical fact to back it up other than just the white man saying, yeah, that's what it is. You are the dead, man, and we need you the hell away from us. We need to get the hell away from you because you're going to destroy the future children, because all you're going to do is raise them up on some more of the beast and his fairy tale of a bunch of black people that come from Africa, that came over here as slaves, not the reality of who we actually are. That this whole planet belongs to us. That we are a race of honor. That we are actually the bright race, the solar projected race here on Earth. Well, that's some of us. Some of you niggas were cloned here. That's the problem. Because you were cloned here, and because you have accepted the earthbound, spiritual, watered-down ways of the beast, you actually believe the beast is your brother. So you know what? In this day and time, he is your brother. I just heard the Israelites, these niggas, sit up here and call a white woman a vanilla goddess. You niggas are coons and sambos, and you prove every day that you're not the elect. I just heard you niggas do that. And then you said y'all all came out the water. So that means you niggas are under the creative vibration of the beast, man. You're of the clones. You're not the elect, man. Because the elect, we ain't talking like that. We were projected from the sun. We didn't come out the damn water, and we didn't come from the dirt of the earth. We didn't come out in some man called Adam and some female called Eve. No. We didn't come from no goddamn monkeys, and no 8 stupid niggas are still sitting up here believing this madness. The white man busy trying to make some monkey/nigger face with a damn big lips on some, and you niggas still, y'all sitting up here believing. You are of the dead, raw and untouched. You niggas are of the dead. You understand that? You niggas are the dead, man. You are not thinking. You are not in your right state of mind. Obvious. You are not in your right state of mind, but maybe you niggas are in your right state of mind. Maybe you niggas just are in your right state of mind. You understand that? Right? You are in your right state of mind. You are the dead. That's why you always gonna think the way you think. You always gonna keep talking about Egypt and Africa and the past and whatnot. Ain't no future for the dead. There's no future for the dead. You understand that? There's no future for the dead. We don't want to be amongst the dead. We don't want to be walking around in 2020 with a goddamn mask on our face, talking about COVID-19. You niggas walking around here acting like you trying to really live. You're already the dead, man. You just trying to survive, man. You trying to survive as black people. Well, there is no survival as black people going forward. You're going to be consumed and devoured by the beast. You see, because your minds have already been consumed and devoured by the beast. Your minds have already been consumed and devoured by the beast. As black people, people in darkness, people in a state of ignorance, who still want to accept the philosophies and the ways of the beast, who still want to believe that the nonsense that comes from his mouth is applying to us. It has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with us. You understand that? Nothing. It has nothing to do with us. We must always keep that in mind. We must always keep that in mind. All you guys out here who got this philosophy going on the radios, on the YouTubes, all this other stuff, talking about this black nonsense and coming together black, y'all are the dead, man. Though I find you guys be entertaining, you still up the dead, man. You're still talking about things that have been dead energy. You're talking about things from the last millennium, voting, politics, get money, right? Reparations, black power. When is it going to end with you niggas, man? When is all this foolishness and folly, this empty talk going to end with you? Answer: when there is an evolution taking place, and it is taking place, because it was a time when we would have all been wrapped up in this, and if somebody would have said this 20 years ago, we'd have been like, well, what is this guy talking about? We ain't saying that now, because it's a whole next level of generation coming. This generation been waiting to come. This generation next has been waiting to come, and the generation is raising up in the name of Allah. They're raising up mentally, where it's important. So we are the mentalists of this time. We are the bright order of this time. We are that order that's being raised up in the name of Allah. We ain't being raised up in the image of the beast. We ain't coming up as black people. We ain't coming up speaking about no reparations and we Pan-Africans and we need to go back to Africa and all this other madness. Or that we came from some monkeys with some white people and we all the same, all that madness. That's dead talk. That's talk of the dead. And this is supposed to be coming from the so-called mouths of the educated. A lot of you niggas, you educated niggas are dead, man. You are mentally gone. That's why you talk that foolishness. I see your calls. I'm going to take your call 786 dead, man. Y'all of the past, man. Because a lot of that stuff was meant to be buried. And when the year 2000 came in, all that black talk, all that nonsense was meant to be buried. And here it is, we 20 years into the so-called new millennium, and you niggas are still with this black garbage. You still with this black talk. You still with this African American crap, this African crap. Y'all still with this? What does that tell you? That tells you you have not evolved and you have not grown whatsoever. So what is that? That is a sign. That is a sign that you are of the dead. That is a sign that you are of the dead. You are not of the fourth dimension. You are of that 3 dimension. You're going to continuously be trapped under that 3-dimensional state as 2-dimensional people. You're going to continuously be trapped, right, as possessions. because that's what the two-dimensional is. The two-dimensional is a state of possession. And what are you the possessions of? You are the possessions of the so-called white man, the beast. You so-called black people, because he owns that term black. He owns that term African. He owns all of these terms. And he gave them to you, just like he gave you your slave names that you niggas still wear proudly. I can't take you seriously. Nobody takes you seriously. Why? Because you have not come to life. You have not come to life. You're still riding on the same two-dimensional frequency, the same low-level black frequency that the beast controls. You still ride on that. And you got plenty of so-called black people who have cut deals behind the scenes, who are coming up here acting like they're these black Avengers for y'all and whatnot, these black Pan-African Avengers for you, these Hotep niggas. They work with the beast, man. These Pan-African black Hotep niggas, they serve the beast, man. They part of the dead as well, man. Nobody want to hear that Pan-African black Hotep BS, man. Nobody wants to hear it. It's dead. It's a dead frequency that we are no longer living today. I'm going to take a call. 786, you're on the air.
You're on fire, brother. You're on fire, man.
Thank you, brother.
I had a couple things to say. First thing, I got a real problem with a lot of these niggas because it seems that they're the only ones that don't want to wake up to this or evolve to this knowledge that you're talking about. I've talked to this or talked to other races about this, and they don't have a problem with it. Whites, Asians, Hispanics, they don't have a problem with me letting them know, where we really came from and how we were here before all that slave trade and everything. But it's these niggas that don't want to hear it.
Well, they ain't supposed to hear it. You know why? You know why they don't want to hear it? You know why? Because they two-dimensional. You know why the white man and the Asians and all those other people are more ready to listen? Can you hear me?
I'm listening.
Okay, the reason why they're more open to listen is because they're on a three-dimensional level, meaning they come together with their people. They on that three-dimensional level. Black people are on a two-dimensional level, still as possession. That's why we can't get together, because possession can't come together. But when people come to that third dimension and realize that they are people collectively, they have an understanding, I should say, of people trying to come together collectively. That's why they will identify with it, have an understanding of where we're going gathering together. They see us waking up because, again, the third dimension is where we're supposed to be gathering. Black races, just forget about it. That's why I said we're taking the bright ones from amongst the black and we're bringing our people home going forward. We ain't thinking about the black race. We're just taking the ones of our people to be salvaged, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And the baby boomers, man, they seem to be the worst ones. They're too far gone. You can't talk to the baby boomers about nothing.
But that's a beautiful thing, though. I'm gonna tell you something. That's a beautiful thing, because the day of trying to talk to black people and convince them and all the my brothers and them days is over with, man. Them days is over with. We put the message out for the bright race and those who are coming out of the black race and whoever resonates with this message. We don't care if it's a small number, 2,000, 100,000, whatever it come up to. We don't care, because even 144,000 is still a small number compared to millions of black people. So we ain't out here for the black people trying to get them to understand. We ain't trying to get them to understand a goddamn thing. Let them keep thinking they black. Let them keep thinking they African American. Let them keep thinking they gonna get reparations. Let them keep going back and forth with the white man. Let them keep on letting their neighborhoods go to hell in the handbasket. Let the nigger woman keep laying with the police. Let the black male keep getting fucked. Let the black female keep getting fed. We don't give a damn, man. The hell with them.
Yes, sir. Last thing I was just gonna mention, man. I'm a Pan-Africanist, but I'm a different type. I'm not what you might call a Pan-Africanist, but I do want to live there. Have you ever been there?
No, brother, I don't care about brother. I live anywhere on the planet. The whole planet belongs to us.
I'm just going to tell you the reason. Just hear me out. They've got some of the best land, some of the cheapest land, and it's easier to escape the beast societies over there. I've been over there a few times, and I'd like to live there if I can ever figure out how to afford it, so I won't have to come back. But it's not. I'm not looking at it in the way that these Pan-Africanists that you're talking about looking at it. I'm looking at it totally different. You know,
well,
not like I'm going there to be African, like I'm going home or something like that. You know, well, I'm looking at it more opportunity.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, brother. You know, no matter where we live on the planet, the whole planet belongs to us. See, we gotta get that in mind. I get what you're saying about the land and all this other stuff, but you know, what part of Africa you talking about?
East Africa, definitely not West. I've been to Uganda. I've been to Tanzania, Ethiopia. I've been to the West. I didn't like it. I went there just to get the experience, but I didn't like West Africa. And Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, man, there's so many places in them lands that you can just go. Man, you can take your people and get lost out there and never come back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Be out there building your own town out there somewhere. For cheap.
Well, like I said, that's all well and good. But a lot of them Africans, you know, a lot of them over there, you got to mute your phone, brother, because I'm seeing the reverb coming back. Mute your phone when I'm talking, when I answer. Yeah. But a lot of them so-called Africans, man, a lot of them are coons and sambos. They believe they black. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of them are off as well. They the ones over there pushing the bleach and the cream, and the black African females over there swirling and bedwinching with the white man. So, you know, what you call in Africa, the way, if the beast have his way, that's going to just be a land of mulattoes. A lot after a while, the way the beast pushing it, it's going to be a bunch of mulattoes, a bunch of grays there, and those areas of Africa. So you be mindful of that. You know.
No, that's true. I've already seen it. They send in a lot of your Caucasian Americans over there to marry a lot of those tribes people, and they having these biracial children, and then the Greys, you're gonna be the next generation of that tribe, and they're gonna take over the tribe. You know, I already see that happen. So now you're right. But see, I'm not even in a state of mind of trying to mix in with them. I just want to go have the opportunity for the landing thing. I'm not trying to mix in with them Africans.
Well, don't call yourself a Pan-Africanist, brother. Don't call yourself that. You know what I'm saying? Don't call yourself that.
Just for lack of a better word.
Yeah, well, like I said, we need better words, and that's why we're coming with a better thing. If you serious about this message and it resonates with you, you need to send your letter in. If you're going to go to Africa, go there and try to find the bright race and whatnot, and send your letter in and join the Republic of Mentellist, because, again, we are looking to bring this whole planet into a state of the fourth dimension and whatnot. And like I said, our people are going to be everywhere.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. I'm with you.
All right.
Well, I'll let you get to that call, bro. Thanks.
All right. Next call up. 832.
Yeah, so you're talking about people being dead, basically, mentally. So today, I was going around town. I'm in Texas. I'm in Houston. And it's the same thing with COVID-19, people wearing masks and stuff like that. But I can see a difference in certain groups of people. I went looking for a pull-up bar because I was working out. I did my little workout at the house, but I needed a pull-up bar, so I'm going to different parks looking for one. I went to a park, and they got a bunch of Caucasian people, and they're out there. They got their kids. They're riding bikes and walking and jogging and exercising. I didn't see not one mask. Okay, so then I go. They didn't have a pull-up bar though, so I go over to the black neighborhood, and it's a hood. It's a hood, and and going to the dollar store, and people are obese. They're nasty looking, disgusting, obese, and sloppy, and everybody got masks on. I'm like, why are you wearing masks? Like, you don't even care about yourself enough to take care of yourself, but you're wearing a mask. And these Caucasian people, they're riding bikes, they're in groups, their kids are out running around, and they're healthy, but they're not wearing masks. So I mean, I see it's just their mentalities are different, and they're living in two different worlds. But this is within maybe a 5-minute drive of each other.
Mm. Yeah, well, you know,
so
that's these people on that bugged out frequency, brother. They bugged out. Like I said, you forget it with these rest of these people. They gone, man. They dead too. A lot of these Caucasians, they dead too, man. They mentally dead too, man. You know what I'm saying? They mentally dead too. So, you know, they equally dead. They equally dead with they black counterparts, man. So like I said, the hell with them too, man. The hell with them too. The minds is being raised and minds being freed. The hell with them too. They with they black counterparts. They dead too, man. You know?
Yep. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. It's just strange to see so many people wearing masks who obviously don't care about their health at all, and at any other time during the year, except for now. But
yeah. Well, like I said, those are the dead. That's all that represents. You know.
Yeah.
But thank you for calling in, brother.
All right. Thanks.
All right. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind as we are moving forward. Keep that in mind as we are transmitting to a next level. Keep that in mind. The beast trying to hold us back for all this black garbage, this black mentally dead garbage. They still trying, and they using their black reinforcements. They're using their black reinforcements. Like I said, I find a lot of this stuff entertaining, like I said, but they're using their black reinforcements to push this black mentality. These niggas are still talking about reparations. And listen, if they still talking about reparations, they black, Pan-African, we come from monkeys, any of that garbage, we spiritual, and, we want to go back to Africa. All this nonsense. If they still pushing that, you know what I'm saying? If they still pushing that, that's the dead, man. That's the dead. You see, that's the dead. Like I was telling the brother before, we can live any place on the planet, man. Planet is ours. Stop thinking like we belong in Africa and this, that, and the third. Whether we want to be in Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, America, wherever the hell we want to go is our planet. Y'all got to start thinking like that. You understand that? Y'all got to start thinking like that. We ain't no goddamn Africans, man. You understand that? We are directly from almonds. And again, for those of the people who not hearing this, it ain't for you to hear, man. The ones who hear this message, you coming home to this community, that's what this is for, because this is going to be the only place where the living are coming, man. This is going to be the only place where life is being reborn again, man, when we being reborn in the image of Amen again. Everything else is dead, man. Anything the beast anything outside this is dead, man. Anything outside this frequency is dead frequency, man. All that Allah business, that Jesus business, that all that crap, you know what I'm saying? That Israel business, all that's a bunch of dead frequency. I told you what's coming out the damn Israelites' mouth. There ain't nothing but a rehashing of some coon sambo crap from the 20th century. Some buck dancing coon crap, calling white female a damn vanilla god. You niggas are gone, and yet you niggas talking about you up your left. Where? And the kingdom and God is coming with the kingdom. Ain't no kingdom for you niggas, man. None. You see, ain't no reparation check coming in the mail for you niggas, man. Ain't no salvation coming to no damn black people. None. No salvation for no black people. Ain't no stimulus package. The white man ain't got no plan for you niggas, man. See, y'all ain't get that through your thick skull yet. There's no plan coming for you. The only plan is to get rid of you. That's the only plan. That's what you do with dead people. You get rid of them. That's what you do with mentally dead people. You get rid of them because you are persona non grata. Just by this, by everything that's going on here, and you niggas getting scared and running around with masks on your face now all of a sudden, and you basically living a way of life of pure degeneracy. Y'all basically living that pure life, that's life of pure degeneracy, and you rail against a message like this that's about waking our people up from the dead. This man, there's no words for you. There's no words for you. None. So our job here, as those bright mentalists who are being raised in the name of Amen, our job here is to find the bright ones. That's it. The mentalists, the thinkers. Again, the dead, they already got the mark of the beast on them already, man. Ain't no convincing them. They belong to the beast, man. And I said those people who came into the Republican Mentalist and left out of here, you niggas got the mark of the beast on you, man. You niggas showed that you got the mark of the beast on you. All you ex-members that left, you niggas all got that was slandering and talking crap. You niggas all got the mark of the beast on you, man. That's why you did what you did. You came in here all subtle, acting like you was a real bright man or real bright woman, and you showed yourself to be nothing but a bunch of black-ass niggas, man. That's all you showed yourself to be at the end of the day. You came in here, you crept in here and whatnot, and you showed yourself to be a bunch of black-ass niggas at the end of the day. Raw and uncut. That's all you showed yourself to be. You see, that's all. You see? All right? That's all. That's all it is. You people better realize that. You belong to the beast, man. You niggas belong to the beast. You are the dead. And he's going to continue to control you. That's why I said, you could look at the different grades of so-called black people, the so-called black females. I feel no connection with the black race at all. They look just as what they are to me as the dead, man. They look as the dead, man. We out here raising the living, man. We out here salvaging our people, and we don't care what they think about, who don't like it, who go and listen to the video. The fact that you niggas are still listening to the video show that you want to try to get life from amongst the living, man. That you are the dead. You still arguing with me about this message. And the only reason y'all arguing against this message because you're of the dead. You want us to be dead with you. You want us to be mentally dead with you. You want us to still be sitting around looking at conspiracy videos. You still want us to sit around talking about being black or spirituality and that we all going to raise up together. Ain't no raising up together, man. There's going to be a separation. Ain't no raising up together, man. And the beast ain't got no information that's going to raise us up. All the raising is going to come by way of Amen. All the intel is coming by way of Amen from the fourth dimension, which you niggas are not a part of because you are of the dead, man. You understand? There is no election for the people who are in the two-dimensional state, who calling the white woman a vanilla goddess. You niggas are sick, man. Even when y'all just as bugged out as your black woman that y'all always complain about, you Israelites. You on the level. That's why you get those type of black women around you, because you bugged out like they are. Y'all dead just like they dead. That's why you still reading dead scriptures, dead books, old books, over and over and over again, trying to breathe life into dead words. Because without law and order, everything in your life is dead. Without law and order, without structure, without real living community, men, women, children in alignment, everything you do is dead. Everything is damned to hell. It's dead. You ain't bringing no new life, man. You guys are not bringing no new life. You niggas are dead, man. You as dead as the niggas that left out of this community, man. You as dead as the ones who listen to this message and whatnot and then come into this community because you heard the calling and you chose not to because you still called by the dead. See, when people tell me they've been listening to this for a long time and they didn't come, that means that you still attracted to the dead in some kind of way. You still want to be amongst the dead. Because what is it out here? Because, again, a whole nother community, another realm of people are being raised up in this day and time, mentally raised up, where we need to be raised up. We don't need no goddamn stimulus package to raise us up. We don't need no reparation check to raise us up. We don't need no politics or no politicians or no voting to raise us up, man. That's dead talk. That's dead talk. That's stupid nigger talk. You want to sit around 1 minute talk about white supremacy and racism and white supremacy and how they control politics and money and all this other stuff and all the things, but then you want to try and get inside that and align yourself with. I'm going to beat the white man in his own game. Good luck with that. Saying that's a bunch of games, man. And for those of you who are tired of playing games, We are coming alive. The dead ain't tired of playing games, man. The dead ain't tired of running us in circles, talking about nothing. The dead ain't tired of talking about Jesus. You understand? They ain't tired of talking about Jesus is the key. They ain't tired of talking about our lives coming out the clouds or spaceships coming with Yahweh Shai on them. They ain't tired of talking about that. They ain't tired of talking about Moorish sovereignty and all that BS. The dead ain't tired of talking about that. That's dead talk. That's dead talk. The ones who ain't tired, the ones who tired of talking like that, those are the people that's waking up, man. The ones who tired of talking about we black and we African American and black against white and white against black and all this other nonsense, that's dead talk, man. Those are talk. That's talk from the dead side. That's people trying to breathe life into the dead. That's all that is. And you're going to see as we're moving forward in this time, and as we wake up, you're going to start to see these people as the elect are being raised this day and time. You're going to start to see these people die out, man. As the elect are being raised, you're going to see these people die simultaneously as the elect, the bright race, the mentalists are coming alive. You're going to see the black race die out, man. You ain't going to want to be in them family reunions with your big mama and your nigga cousins no more. You ain't going to want to be around them. You ain't going to want to be around your black family members because they're going to show you more and more every time you see them how dead they are, how dead they look, and how dead their conversation is, how simple-minded they are. They're going to show you more and more, and you're going to want to get the hell away from them, or else you'll be dead with them. We'll be right back. You know, it would be different if you people were asleep and you couldn't wake up because you were asleep. Or should I say it would be different if you were asleep. At least you could wake up if you were asleep. But there's no waking you up. I've come to realize that in the years I've been teaching. There's no waking up black people. Y'all dead. There's no waking you up. Y'all mentally dead. There is no waking you up. If you were asleep, which is what we're after, the sleep people. We're trying to wake up the sleep. You can't wake up the dead. You let the dead stay dead. And maybe in the next regeneration, in the fourth dimension, maybe we'll see y'all asses again. But at this time, it's no even talking to y'all. You know, no debates, no arguments, no talking. Y'all are dead. We don't talk to the dead, man. It's hopeless to talk to the dead. The dead is what we see every day out here in these streets, man. We ain't interested in linking up with the dead, man. If you're not of this community, if you're not of if you're not of Mentalist, we ain't talking to you, man. Ain't no conversations, man. Unless it's necessary. We ain't talking to you, man. Ain't no debates, ain't none of that, man. If you ain't of the elect, if you ain't coming together amongst the elect, that's how we got to be in this day and time, man. Amen is making the separation right now, man. Like I said, that whole COVID-19, the number 19, it represents separation, man. That represents separation. 1 and 9 equals 10. The number 1 represents that evolutionary, that linear evolution, and 0 represents that rotation of revolution. The same thing over and over again. We leaving the revolution, man. We leaving. As the bright race, we leaving the door of revolution. We leaving that whole black and white thing. We leaving that whole back and forth. We leaving that whole black, African American, Moorish, Islamic, Christian, Egyptology. All that BS is out the window, man. All that's going to remain is our minds. All that's going to remain as we come out of that two-dimensional realm, as we're gathering in the 3-dimension to get our minds right, because we are in a process of getting our minds right. We are in a continual process of getting our minds right for the 4th dimension, man. That's what we focusing on, man. And Amen represents us in the 4th dimension. Amen is representing us now as we are gathering in the 3-dimensional state, where the bright ones are gathering. We are gathering. We have realized that together is where we become strong and powerful, and separate is where we lose our focus, man. Separation is where we lose our focus. We ain't out here trying to promote no more philosophies of the beast. And for those of you niggas that still pushing voting, still pushing get reparations, get money, we want to check. You niggas are still pushing that. You up to dead, man. You up to dead. You want to give money to dead people to try to breathe life into them? Bad mistake, man. That's your solution to breathing life into black people, giving them money? Giving niggas money so they can throw it away on cars and clothes and BS. That's your solution in raising the black people? Giving a bunch of mentally dead people money so they can just throw it away? Niggas been had money and they ain't did nothing with it. What you think? By giving them a whole bunch of it, they're going to do something with it now? No, that means there's going to be more waste. But that's what the dead do. The dead want stimulus package, known as the stimulus, to stimulate. Right? Stimulus package. To stimulate. What are you trying to stimulate? You only stimulate those who are dead. You're trying to stimulate dead people because what the beast realized is that that as this evolution is taking place, people are starting to become disillusioned with the philosophies of the beast, man. People, that's really why you're seeing this COVID thing. That's really why you're seeing this black and white stuff. They're trying to push this back because, see, these are the things, this whole black and white thing, this whole racial thing is basically what kept America alive. The whole racial thing is really what kept America mentally alive. This back and forth black and white thing. That's really, and see, now that a lot of people are starting to try to come away from that, and a lot of people are starting to gradually wake up. The beast got to push out the black and white thing again. He got to roll out that whole black and white thing because, see, he knows that if he don't have nothing in place, and you don't have anything, no more that black and white, then you're going to have people that's going to be waking people up individually. They're going to start coming with a message that is going to outshadow him. So this is why you're seeing a lot of these pro-black niggas showing up on YouTube. All of a sudden, they got so much blackity-black stuff to say. The same stuff that niggas were saying in the 20th century, they saying it again. We really need to hear a repeat that we Muslims, we Christians, we Moors, we Israelites, we really need to hear a repeat of that. Go back in the Bible and wait for the Lord. The white man's the devil. We really need to hear a repeat of this stuff. We've been heard this, been there, done this. Now what? There's no solution to that. The solution is our people to come together on one level mentally and be a community and raise ourselves mentally in the image of Amen, and raise ourselves on a higher principle. And we're being guided by that higher principle. Only the intelligent ones, the living ones, the bright ones are going to wake up to this, man. Only the ones who are thinking. Not the ones who are the dead believers, but the living thinkers are going to wake up to this message. They're going to wake up to this. We ain't out here trying to convince nobody of a goddamn thing. Ain't no debates about nothing. If you don't get it, then just move on, man. And for those of my people, you still with dead black people, you still laying next to dead black people, don't worry, you'll be dead soon. Those of you who still laying next to dead black people in your life, people who ain't with this message, ain't with this community, because let me ask you, if you're not with this message and with this community, then what the hell you niggas with, man? Oh, that's right. You following the white man. You following the beast. I don't care if, I ain't following nobody. I'm just going to work and living my life. You following the beast. Oh, I ain't following no beast. I'm just going to work and living my life and whatnot. I know the white man. Nigga, you following the beast. Oh, no, see, I believe in Islam and Allah and whatnot. And, I pray and I know the white man's the devil. Nigga, you following the beast. And I'm for Christ, and Christ is coming for us, and Christ is going to save us. Nigga, you following the beast. Oh, we waiting on Yahweh Shah to come back and raise the elect, and meanwhile we want some vanilla God says, nigga, you following the beast. Oh, we waiting on the Moorish science, and we Moors, and we Moors, and this thing. Nigga, you following the beast. All the same. All the same. Same circle, same BS, same rotation of BS. We gonna read the metal nectar and whatnot, and the metal nectar is gonna tell us what how we supposed to live. Nigga, you following the beast. That all translates into nigga, you following the beast. That's it. Amen, send us here, project us here to move in rotation. We're supposed to be moving in a straight line in the name of Amen, as the Amen race. Not as no earthbound people calling themselves Africans, because again, I told my people, anybody want to come pushing that African stuff, you got to get the hell on, man. You got to get the hell on. We don't want to hear nothing about Kemet and Egypt and Africa. We heard all of that already. We're not doing that. We're not attracting that. We are the next level of Amen. We are a celestial race. We are not a terrestrial, earthbound people. We are a celestial race, tuning into the fourth dimension, changing the goddamn channel, turning the frequency, the next channel. And like I said, we ain't trying to appeal to people and trying to convince people. And no, we don't want to hear nothing you niggas talking about. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because y'all ain't talking about nothing. You can sit up here and break down the molecules and the science and all the science and breaking stuff down. Where is that leading to? You can sit up here and drop all the science you want and talk all this, dropping the science and breaking down. Where is that leading to? Nowhere. I'm going to take a call. 219, you're on the air.
Yes, sir, Mr. MENKARAYZZ. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it and all that you do.
You're welcome, brother, and thank you.
And I'm sincere. I'm really, really sincere. I may sound like a so-called Caucasian, but I'm not. But I'm not a black man either. I love all that you do. I believe I'm Armenic, but I'm still studying it, and I'm trying my best to get there. I know for a fact that I ain't from this planet. My blood alone tells me I ain't from this planet. I studied those things that you put out there. I tried to make a pact with those beings. Out of respect, I'll call them those beings. And so far, when I did it, the path came clear. As you would say, klez. All right? So I wanted to address the first brother who put some of us so-called baby boomers that we don't know.
Well,
that's not true.
How did you hear? Well, before you start, how did you hear that word klez before? Where'd you hear that from?
Oh, I've been listening to you for a long time. Like I said, I've been studying you. I mean, I've studied almost everybody I get my hands on. And to me, that's how you're supposed to do it, so you raise your intellect.
The reason why I asked you that is because that's a phrase that we use in the Republic of Mentellist. Did you hear me say that on the radio? Did you hear that from one of my people?
No, I heard it from you. Anything I've heard in regards to what you've presented has been from you. I haven't been around any of your people as far as any of your registered members, I guess that's how you'd say it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't want to be insultatious. So I'm trying to, you know what I mean? I don't want to be insultatious to anything you brought. And like I said, I know it's sincere. I know it's true. The first caller who had said about us so-called baby boomers, I was like this. That's a white man's term about a segment of people. This message that the transmission is coming through you, transcends all that bull. It don't make too much difference how old you are. It's how, like you said, your mind is. If your DNA is open, which mine has been open for the longest, ever since I was a little child. I think I was on like the cusp of 1961. So I know for a fact that all that stuff, all this white man stuff, even if you want to call them white, which they're not, Caucasians, it's all irrelevant, whatever they are. The main name is beast, like you said. All right? I know for a fact I'm no parts of that. I'm striving to get where I need to go. But I know for a fact that what you are giving out is true and tried, because I've tried it in my life. And I know you've probably had other people, too, that said the same thing. So I just wanted to address what he said. It transcends any of those little, I guess, categories that Caucasians like to put us in, and even some of our PhD black people want to put us in. You know, it just transcends all of that. It's about the message. And like you said, it just transcends. And if you're a part of it, you'll know it. And it does resonate with me, but I don't want to be like all the other callers and say, I'm on my way. I don't want to go there.
Well, the real people who are really of this message, they on their way. They really on their way, and they send in their letter. I said to all the people, are you really with me and really with this message? Because if you are, you're going to be here, because that's the commitment. Our commitment here, our only thing, if you're really of this and this message resonates with you, then you know that your only purpose here is to be in this community and finding the elect. Everything else is secondary. We're here to raise the frequency of Amen on this planet and move our people into the fourth dimension where we belong, because we are not in our right dimension. So therefore, we are not in our right mind. We are not in our rest where we're supposed to be. We are out of alignment, following the three-dimensional way. So again, when I hear people tell me that, my first thing is, well, when is your letter coming in? When are you going to become a member? When are you going to be here with us if you're really of us?
Right. No, I thoroughly understand that. I do. And I'm going to hit the site tonight. Another thing I wanted to address, if you'll give me permission.
Okay.
The 144,000, is that a split? 72,000 men and 72,000 women?
Is there going to be more women than men?
No, I want to know if it's even. Is it even, or if it's one-sided? You know, I just have that question.
It's going to be more women than men. It's not going to be even men and even women. It's going to always be more women than men, because the men are not going to come out of pride, and because a lot of these niggas are dead. So and like I said, their emotions keep them dead, because it's going to be more men than more women. That's just how it's going to be. That's how the makeup of the earth is, and that's the same way it's going to be as the elect are being gathered in this community. Because again, men are going to take more than one woman. They're going to have children. They're going to go in unto these women, and these men are going to become very powerful, right? And they're going to go in unto these women, and they're going to become like supermen here. They're going to be charged, just as the women are going to be charged, to carry the next generation of children and breed a next level of men and women out of that bloodline. That's what we being gathered here for, so that we do not mix our seed with the human race or the so-called black race.
Gotcha. I thoroughly understand. I know that, because some of us are older. You know what I mean? And, like I said, I haven't made a child in a long time. Not saying I couldn't, but, this is not on my mind right now.
You can make a child till you die, brother. If you can make children, if you can make children, you had no accident, so nothing like that, or whatever the case may be, you can make children till the day you die. Women are the only ones that got a window.
Gotcha. All right. Hey, I appreciate your time, brother. I love your show. I'll keep listening. I'm going to check out your site. Appreciate you. Have a good one.
All right, bro. Yeah, so, again, I say that to all the people who say of this message and they hear this message and whatnot, but ultimately, are you really listening? Because if you are listening, you're coming here. You don't have any concerns in the world. There are no concerns in the world. Everything is secondary in the world. The first thing is to build this community and put this community first. Everything else is going to fall in line. Anything else we need, monetarily, whatever, anything else in life we need is going to fall in line. And the things that we don't need is going to fall out of line. And that's it. Because the whole thing is to come together as a community and live for, of, and by each other, and produce the next generation and breed this into ourselves and our lives, and stay together as a community, because us being separated is what got us into this black death in the first place. We'll be right back. The only ones I gave props to was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Dr. Malachi Z. York, and Marcus Garvey. Those are the only ones I gave credit to for being effective men, bright men of the last of the 20th century. Garvey, because of his structure of getting our people together and realizing that we need to have a structure together, right? A structure together, even though he was off with the Pan-African thing, but he helped put our people together in a structure, the men and the women. That was the first sign that we had, that was the first sign that we had a need for community. That was the first sign. That was the first sign that we would have a need for community. You see, that we would have to come together. That was the first sign. So when it came time for our people to have that community, he put it together, even though it was on the Pan-African off. He was trying to show that our people come together, and it influenced a lot of people. It influenced the Moors to come together, because that was the whole point. It was just really to mainly influence our people to start coming together, to gather and elect together gradually. You see, that was the start of that, Marcus Garvey. And from that came the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Noble Drew Ali. I think he was around that time. He did a Moorish thing. It was never really nothing major. But, you know, you had the Nation of Islam that was influenced by Marcus Garvey's movement, you see. And the messenger came and put down that same structure, the men, the women, the community together, things like that, through Islam, through a version of Freemasonic Islam. And that was good for that time. That's what he was teaching, a form of Freemasonic Islam. All right? And so he came and put it down for that until that was no longer needed. Then Dr. York came and was putting down Islam, but more from a cultural standpoint and trying to take us through these teachings. So he became more of a esoteric leader, celestial and esoteric. He was trying to pull us into that, but his foundation was still earthbound. All of their foundations were earthbound, but they did put us into alignment, and I was influenced by all of these great men. They did put us into alignment to what we have now, which is Mentellist, where none of this teaching that is coming is earthbound. None of this teaching is of man. None of this teaching is based in culture. None of this teaching is based in belief. None of this teaching is based in philosophy. It is pure intelligence directly from the future, from the fourth dimension, from our ascendants coming to us now to move us forward into the fourth dimension. That is what we are getting. We were knocking at the door. 3 knocks at the door. I remember Dr. York said that, the knock's the door. So we knocked 3 times. We knocked with Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey was knocking on the door to Amen when he gathered our people together. That was the first knock. The second knock was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad knocking on the door, gathering our people, showing Amen that we are waking up and coming together gradually. The third knock was Dr. Malachi Z. York. The third knock was Dr. Malachi Z. York. That was the third and final knock. So technically, I represent the fourth knock in the open door. I never put Marcus Garvey in the lineup, but he's somewhat in that lineup. Even though he was pushing the Pan-African thing, even though he was pushing that, it's no different than what Elijah Muhammad was pushing, which was the Islamic thing. None of those had nothing to do with our people, but the key thing was that it aided in gathering our people. It aided in gathering our people. So really, I am the fourth in line, not the third. I am really the fourth in line. You see, I am really the fourth in line to that great succession of men who built community and realized that community was the answer. You see, realizing that community was the answer. And so as this door is being knocked in, as this door is being opened, as we are moving and coming into alignment on this final stage in the third dimension, we are going to a place where no one has been before. We are opening the door to the fourth dimension, to the mind. We are opening the door to the fourth dimension, which is the mind. We already got the body assembled. The soul is in alignment. Now we are coming into the mind. Now we're coming into alignment with the mind. You see? Now we're doing that. I couldn't ignore Marcus Garvey's contribution. I couldn't ignore that. Like I said, even though he pushed this Pan-Africanism, right, and going back to Africa, like I said, Elijah Muhammad came with Islam. He came with Islam, which neither one got nothing to do with us, but it was just a tool to gather our people. That's all, tool to gather our people. And now the people are being gathered. Now the people are being gathered in this day and time. Those great men used tools to gather our people. Islam, Pan-Africanism, Egyptology, all these things are nothing but tools, man. They're nothing but tools. They were tools to get us to open the goddamn door, man. They were nothing but tools that was used to open the door, man. And the door is open now to the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension, everything is starting to stream in gradually. But we're not going to get it full on until we are together as the elected to the elected gathered all over the planet. And we're still in that process of the three dimension because the elected being gathered to receive that continual fourth dimensional transmission. But they led up to this, man. This was meant to be the open door. This was meant to be the open door. We're in alignment today. We are in alignment to that. So when I hear these so-called black guys talking this nonsense about Egypt and Africa and all this, look, man, we had the best come do it, man. We already had the best come do it. We already did that in a community setting. We did it with Marcus Garvey. We did the Pan-African thing already. So that Pan-African thing had come and gone with Marcus Garvey, man. That whole Pan-African thing came and gone with him. We did Islam already, man. That whole Islam thing came and went with the messenger, man. That whole thing came and went with him. We had Islam Part 2 and Egyptology and all that other stuff and the Olmecs and all this other stuff. That came with Dr. York, man. That came and went with Dr. York, man. All the stuff the Nubians talking about, they still dealing with Egyptology, man. That came and went already, man. So they were really giving us an advanced download of all these things in history that we was interested in. We done been there and done that already. We don't need to revisit history, man. We don't need niggas trying to revisit and revamp history, man. We heard all them niggas from the old school, them old civil rights niggas and the Jesse Jacksons, all them pushing reparations and trying to get reparations and talking about being black predators. We heard all that already, man. We've been there already. The last thing that has not been attacked, the last thing that has not been taken in hold of, the last thing that has been opened up for us to take hold of is the mind, man. This is all meant to put us in mind. This was meant to put us in mind, in alignment with Amen, with our higher self. That's what all these things did. When all else fails, we move to another level, man. We changed the goddamn channel. We done been there already. I thank you, Marcus Garvey. Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Dr. MENKARAYZZ, I thank all three of you. You were those channels, man. You were those channels that helped change us to the fourth, man, because without you, we wouldn't be here right now. Giving honor to them tonight. But we cannot sit up here and keep rotating around in those same doctrines and philosophies. We went through all that in the 20th century. So now we're in the 21st century. It's Mentellist and Mentellist only and Amen only. That's what it should be with the elect, man. The black race who still want to be in rotation with that, they belong to the beast, man, because after those doctrines faded away, who took over? The so-called white man. The so-called white man took over those doctrines after the original teachers left, man. The so-called white man took those over. But it didn't matter at this time because now we got Mentalists. We don't need those no more. That's why you hear these guys still talking about the same thing, still talking about being black, still talking about Islam, still talking about Jesus is the key. Because like I said, the beast controls that now, man. The beast can come up here and wear a goddamn African dashiki and tell you niggas about Africa with a beard on his face. But see, that's okay, because all he did was pick from the dead, man. He picked from the dead. We ain't dealing, that's the dead talk, man. He could pick from the dead bones all he wants to, man. We live in flesh. We live in flesh, live in soul, and damn sure live in mind. And that's it. Let me go ahead and answer these questions before we get out of here. What is death to life? Black Africans are bright mentalists. That means all the things we've incurred as the dead, man. Because we've been dead in this country, man. We've been dead. We've been dead. We let people come in here and tell us we came on slave ships to Africa and we was pissing on ourselves and crapping on ourselves and we was crammed into a ship and that's why we got here. Nah, man, that's a lie, man. We the first and only real Americans here in this country, man. Don't let nobody tell you that we've been here before everybody. Before everybody. But see, we had to learn that through trial and error and listening to our elder teachers that came through in our state of death, man, because they were trying to wake us up in our state of sleep, man. They were trying to wake us up, man, in our state of sleep, which is sleep is a sister to death, man. So, we went from sleep to woke. Now you see these crackers, they got this whole woke thing. Woke. Who you waking up? We came alive again, man, through Mentellist, man. We coming alive again. as the bright race. We left that black thing behind, man. We burnt that out in the 20th century, man. We left all that crap behind, the Islam, the Christianity, the spiritualism, the metaphysics, all that crap done got left behind in the garbage, man. Those of you couldn't leave it behind, man, to hell with you, man. Those of you want to argue about that, there ain't no arguments, man. So stay where you at, man. We ain't trying to disturb the dead. Who are the bright mentalists today? We are. The registered members of the Republic of Mentalists. We are the bright mentalists. We are the mentalist community, man. We are the mentalist community gathering in this day and time in the image of Amen, man, because we are Amen in this day and time. We are the Amen, separating from the humans. We are the Amen. We are the projected souls on earth, the living souls on earth, the raising souls on earth, and the continuous minds. On to the fourth dimension. What are the bright mentalists? Those who are in alignment with Amen. Those who are the our men and our women. That is the mentalists. Those who are on the mental list of the elect. It is an actual list, and we are gathering those on the list. Why are people still in black darkness as Africans? Because that's where they belong. They belong there amongst the dead. So they will always answer to titles like African American, black African American, signing on the census as African Americans. Man, you niggas, man, y'all niggas still doing that, man. Goodbye. I say, bye, boy, bye. How you other black females say, boy, bye. Niggas, bye. Y'all still doing this black African American, then you wonder why you in the condition you in. You letting some people tell you they bought you over on a ship. Y'all stupid enough to believe that. What does this mean in the future evolution of our people? Everything. Because if you can't get past the black thing and the African thing, you can't listen to me. So it's everything. And more. And that's it. We're going to close out in the name of Amen by the power of Amen. And Amen we trust. And Amen we think. And Amen we continue forward forever. I am the intellectual NUBEN MENKARAYZZ. This has been Mentellist Radio. Good night. See y'all back here Monday at 10.
It's the Republic of Mentellist, rising out the black race to the bright race, out the black race to the bright race. It's the Republic of Mentellist, black race to the bright race. If it's hell, then it's hell us. They tried everything just to spell us. Fed us religion, gave us fake gods. Through all of that, we beat the odds. Now we coming together under one flag. Colors red, gold, and blue. Superman, Superwoman, that's me and you. The infinite capabilities that we can